Imagine waking up to reports that an Iranian cargo jet has crashed in Eritrea, carrying not aid, not goods, but weapons that could rewrite the balance of power in the Horn. Ethiopia's radar screens light up, foreign satellites zoom in, and the Red Sea suddenly feels smaller and deadlier.
Fabricating misinformation.
Way good, fan. Welcome to Semonignamedia Spotlight, your front row seat to the Horn of Africa's most electrifying story. A shadow looms over the Red Sea. A heavily sanctioned cargo jet slides off the Massawa runway before dawn. No cameras, no press releases, just crates that could change the balance of power in the Horn of Africa. Analysts warn that Eritrea, long a military underdog, might not stop at drones. The real danger? Access to Iranian missile technology, the same kind used by Houthis to strike Saudi Arabia or by Hezbollah against Israel. If Tehran decides to transfer more than UAVs, short-range missiles, anti-ship systems, and the operational know-how to deploy them, Ethiopia could face a northern frontier armed with weapons that fly faster and hit harder than anything it has encountered in decades. And this is no theory. Satellite imagery, flight logs, and open-source tracking show repeated heavy-lift aircraft touching down in Massawa with Iranian ties. For Addis Ababa, what was once a quiet port now maps a potential corridor for lethal, deniable power projection. Cheap airframes, expensive consequences. Iran has perfected a model. Supply allies with inexpensive, lethal, unmanned aerial systems, UAS, and train operators in their use. Drones do not require conventional airfields or satellite basing rights. They need crates, technicians, and permissive ports. A single B-747 or Ilyushin 6-2 can carry dozens of disassembled Shahed loitering munitions, Mohajer reconnaissance strike drones, ground control stations, and spare parts. Analysts say that's exactly what was spotted arriving at Massawa. Drones today, missile technology tomorrow. If Eritrea gains short-range missiles or anti-ship systems from Iran, it could dramatically increase its strike envelope, threatening northern Ethiopia and Red Sea shipping lanes. The evidence trail, flights, imagery, sanctions flags, repeated arrivals of aircraft linked to Keshem Fars Air, an Iranian airline sanctioned for IRGC-linked cargo missions, have been flagged by open-source researchers. Satellite maps of Massawa between October and November 2025 show activity unusual for a port of its size. Social media posts, flight logs, and other indicators suggest the cargo is not ordinary commercial freight. For Ethiopia, the message is unmistakable. This is a well-oiled logistics network transferring not just drones, but potentially the know-how and infrastructure to operate longer-range systems. What drones, and possibly more, are involved? Iran's exportable UAV toolkit includes Shahed loitering munitions, Jiran 2 variants, low-cost, kamikaze drones capable of flying hundreds to over 1,000 kilometers, with warheads designed to penetrate light armor and disrupt infrastructure. Their use in Yemen has demonstrated their capacity to strike logistics hubs, runways, and fuel depots with minimal risk to human pilots. Mohajer tactical mail drones, Mohajer 6/10, medium altitude, long endurance UAVs with surveillance and precision strike capabilities. Mohajer 10 models can coordinate strikes with loitering munitions and provide actionable intelligence on troop and convoy movements. Potential missile systems. Short-range ballistic missiles or anti-ship cruise missiles, if supplied, would allow Eritrea to threaten infrastructure, ports, and strategic hubs deep in northern Ethiopia. Combined with drones, they would create a lethal, layered, asymmetric threat. Eritrea's calculus, leverage versus risk. ASMERA's strategic thinking is transactional. The regime is cash poor, internationally isolated, and constantly seeking ways to strengthen its survival margin. Hosting Iranian logistics delivers cash, spare parts, and advanced military know-how. It also elevates Eritrea's regional profile. A port that matters to Tehran matters to others, but the risks are high. Sanctions exposure, surveillance by Western powers, and the danger of becoming entangled in Middle Eastern conflicts. If missile systems enter the equation, Eritrea could shift from a regional spoiler to a direct threat, forcing Ethiopia to respond not just to drones, but to missile-enabled strikes on infrastructure, borders, and strategic hubs.
Ethiopia's dilemma: surveillance, strike, and maritime threats. For Addis Ababa, the challenge is immediate. 1. Surveillance and targeting. UAVs from Massawa could track troop movements and convoys along the northern frontier, eroding Ethiopia's operational secrecy. 2. Asymmetric strike risk. Shahed-type drones and potentially Iranian-supplied missiles threaten bridges, depots, and logistics hubs, creating vulnerabilities that can dictate campaign outcomes. 3. Maritime and Red Sea strategy. Massawa's militarization complicates Ethiopia's port ambitions. A port hosting UAVs and their handlers invites naval attention, surveillance, and potentially hostile interdiction. Numbers are uncertain. Capacity is key. Exact quantities of drones or missiles remain opaque, but strategic risk lies in capacity rather than count. A handful of Mohajer drones plus dozens of loitering munitions can inflict disproportionate operational damage. If missile systems are added, even a limited arsenal could threaten northern Ethiopia, key infrastructure, and shipping lanes in the southern Red Sea. Tehran's broader strategy. Iran's engagement with Eritrea fits a larger pattern of extending regional reach. A drone and potentially missile footprint in Massawa grants Tehran reconnaissance and strike capabilities along the southern Red Sea, across the Red Sea corridor, and potentially into the Nile corridor. This is not a local tactical concern. It could alter regional geopolitics, threaten shipping lanes, and draw external powers into a complex security puzzle. A pragmatic Ethiopian response. To counter this growing threat, Ethiopia may consider building a public evidence dossier. Satellite imagery, flight manifests, and OSINT must be compiled and shared with international partners to pressure enforcement of sanctions. Expanding counter-UAS and EW capabilities, investment in jammers, detect and deny systems, and air defense nodes along northern logistics corridors is critical. Accelerating alternative maritime options. Redundant port access and regional naval partnerships reduce leverage from a hostile Massawa. Mobilizing multilateral pressure. Framing Massawa's militarization as a regional destabilizer broadens diplomatic costs for Eritrea and its partners. The final frame, a slow-burning corridor with outsized consequences. 2 cargo planes at Massawa do not start a war, but they map a capability that could escalate into one. Drones shipped in crates become a persistent, deniable instrument of influence. Combined with potential missile technology, they could transform the northern border into a high-risk theater overnight. For Ethiopia, the question is urgent. Can the country deter this corridor before it becomes a militarized theater? Or will it be forced to fight to close a door that should never have been opened? The Iran-Eritrea drone story is no ordinary news item. It is a slow-burn strategic shift with the potential to redefine borders, ports, and power in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia's skies, radars, and diplomacy must add up to a credible shield, or risk facing a drone and missile-enabled escalation it is not fully prepared for. This has been Semonignamedia Spotlight. Until next time, stay tuned.